Hello friends, welcome to Sodbusters Living, and here is an update of what's going on and why the content hasn't been as frequent lately. Okay, I'm just going to jump right into it. So there's going to be a lot of different things covered in this video, so hopefully those that are here for certain types of content can find what they need. I had everything figured out in my head last night of how I wanted to say this, and of course immediately fell asleep before writing any of it down. Oh, somebody mentioned in the last video, you're drinking coffee. I thought you're, too poor for all that kind of thing, and that's me paraphrasing. My brother sent me money for coffee today. Technically, he actually sent it for my daughter to make sure that she got her birthday coffee, and then he said make sure to grab one for you. So I listened to my siblings. Anyway, all right, so let's have a little chit chat. And I'm the kind of person that really doesn't like first person stories or autobiographies. I find them a very unreliable narrator, and I want a multiple perspective view on how things are going. And that kind of can make YouTube really hard because I can only give you a certain point of view from what I see. And when you're trying to be very open and sharing finances in the sense of how much you're willing to share, obviously, being completely honest here, there's things that we don't all share. We just don't. I don't show every aspect of my life, but I try to hit all of the highlights so that you can kind of see a pretty broad view of the picture, so that you can kind of understand how we live on a small budget. So in terms of our financial journey, this past month when I worked out all of the bills and we got back, so my husband was asked to be a guest pastor or preach a guest sermon. I'm not sure how that would be called, what that would be called, because he's not a pastor yet. He's a seminary student, but certain churches give him opportunities to kind of practice at various congregations, and so he can kind of learn how to do that. So we traveled over 600 miles by car for him to be a guest pastor one Sunday, and then came back. And then literally that week, my daughter came back from California. She got to go back there and kind of help two of my siblings move out here. They have fallen in love with Indiana, and so we're so blessed to have them in the area. They're actually, I couldn't see their apartments from my window. Made sure I actually could, and houses weren't blocking, so I was truthful in that. But yep, I can see the apartment complexes from where I sit, which is very helpful because if there's ever anything that's needed, I can have kids that can dash on over. Anyway, so we came home to that, and my mom got to be here, so I really wanted to kind of just soak all that time in. But what I'm trying to get to, all of that happened right at the first of the month, which is our financial, first of the month I do all of the finances, and it was just too chaotic. I could not sit down and get that all squared away, if you will. So on the just before we left to the trip, here's one of those God moments. I am walking out to my mailbox. This is not, I have a lot of God moments to share in this thing because it's just incredible to me. I'm walking out to the mailbox and I'm like, Lord, it would just be amazing if I open the mailbox and there's just money in there. I opened the mailbox and there was a card from a subscriber with a check inside. It was just one of those kind of humbling moments, like, oh, you kind of say these things not really expecting them, and then when they arrive, it's just this humbleness, this moment of wow. So we put that into checking. I figured we're just going to set it aside. We're going to put it with all of the money that I have earned this month, and it'll be great to kind of have as a cushion for the rest of this month. So that happened, and then we went on our trip. On the way back from our trip, so my husband's a mechanic. You have to get this part. My husband's a mechanic. He goes over everything with the car, and one of the issues we've been having is with our ignition, the key in the ignition. There's some malfunction in our particular car make, model, and the ignition. It has to be replaced. I don't remember what last time he replaced it. So we did that last week, and now this week it's not working again. So we dealt with that one. So when he dealt with that, he went over the car before we just did this, 1,200 mile trip. And we're driving down the road. I'm like, David, I see a place that has a gas station. I don't know when the next gas station is because I remember this stretch, and they're pretty far spaced apart. I think that's how you say it. If we get gas, let's get it now. And I literally had like 2 seconds to get across the lane, and it pulled off when he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we get to the gas station, fill up the gas, go inside, get whatever change we had. Probably pennies. No, just kidding. And I come out, and my husband says, yeah, we've got a problem. And anytime somebody says that, you feel the blood drain from your face, and it's just like, now what? Now what? He's like, we cannot drive anymore on these tires. I see metal. It's like, great. We are 3.5 hours from our motel that we've already booked for the night, and we can't travel anywhere on a Sunday. On a Sunday, which means no place is open. I'm Googling, I'm like, okay, where's the nearest Walmart with tires? He's like, no, we cannot. They are about to blow any minute. And right now, everything is in construction up here. Everything. So you've got your potholes and your side roads, and oh my goodness. And I'm at a gas station thinking, we're in this podunk town. What is there? And I'm telling you all this because here's God again. We've got the gas station we're at. Literally next to the gas station is a Motel 6 or 8. I don't remember which one.
That's good.
I hate those motels. I want to be on my deathbed before getting into those motels. Every time we've stayed at one to save money, we have dealt with so many issues, it's not worth it. There's a Motel 6 or 8. Next to the Motel 6 or 8 is a tire shop. Next to that tire shop is this quaint little barn that's an espresso cafe. God? Anyone? God? Anyway, he goes into the gas station and is like, is anybody opened on a Sunday? And the gal gives him 2 numbers that may have what we need. One never answers the phone, and the second does not have our tire size. Of course, there's a rubber shortage. We know this. So we get to the hotel, and I'm thinking, we've lost our deposit. Like, you can't cancel this reservation for the other hotel. You have to give them 4 days ago in advance. So I get online, and I'm talking, and first of all, this Motel 6-8 was amazing. It was roomy. It was clean. It did not have an air conditioning unit halfway over my bed. That's how nice it was. And it didn't stink with cleaners that were trying to mask smoke odor. So far, great experiences. And if you tell by all of my irritations, past experiences haven't been that great. So I'm online, I'm trying to look, we're in a situation that I can't get out of. Is there any way you can give us a refund on this hotel that we're not going to make to? Because we've already had to make arrangements to stay here this night for another one. So they thank the Lord. They approved our refund, so we got that. And then we're just like, I really hope that this tire shop tomorrow has our size tires. At that point, I go to bed exhausted. I'm just done. I'm mentally, physically, emotionally, exhaustedly done for the day. And next morning, first thing, my husband goes and he's able to get the tires, and we're able to go to the espresso shop. And we're on the road. And the tire cost was almost $400 for the 2 tires. I expected a lot more from this small town. Like, it's a small town in the middle of nowhere. First thing in the morning, 2 brand new tires. We have to leave the tires there, which is a recycling fee or whatever. Yeah, I expected more than that. So I was very thankful that it wasn't as expensive as I thought, but still, $400 later, you're like, dang. So, remember how I said last month that October is always our expensive month? Yeah. So we get home, and then that's when I try to start figuring out our bills and whatnot. So after we pay all of the things that we need to pay, it's the end of a fiscal year, I think. I'm not sure how it works, but anyway, so things that have come up that, of course, my brain did not register and prepare for. Things like, oh, the editing software that I use, it's time for a renewal. There's another $100. I did not plan for come into play and all of that. Bonuses, however, were not only the 2 babysitting gigs that I had, plus a bonus in some work, lost a couple of jobs, so that was kind of unfortunate. I got a hefty YouTube check. That was about $200. I can't give you exact numbers, just say, I'll say it's about $200. It was slightly over that. So there you go. That's what I can give you. I think it has to do with agreements. I'm not sure. I just see that a lot of YouTubers say that we can't share exact numbers. No idea if it's true or not, so I'm going to play it safe and do that because I don't have time to research all this. So there was that. There was, again, the babysitting always goes directly to what needs to be covered. What else? The expenses for our trip were covered, so that didn't get taken out, except for the tires, of course. So that didn't. I'm trying to give you all of the details. I'm trying to remember everything. I know there's more, but I don't want to stare into the space trying to remember more. So got paid, but it was in and out. My husband's paycheck needs to meet about $1,800 before groceries to meet all of our basic bills, and he brought in $1,400 last month. So babysitting money needed to help cover that. However, because we had those extra incomes in, we had a little bit of a buffer. Now pretty much we are eating out of the pantry, fridge, and freezer for this month, and we are completely fine. So because of the extra check that we got that showed up in our mailbox, because of the hefty YouTube bonus, and because of certain things, like, we're fine, but to try to cover out all the things that kind of hit us and we weren't really prepared for. Yeah, so I had to cover gas, groceries, a bill, and some other things that I cannot think of right now. So yeah, that is what is today, the 13th, so we're almost halfway through the month of October, and that just kind of all hit. Yes, you may. Ask Emma if you want it peeled and cut. Alright. Okay, so that's kind of the basic gist of the financial side of the update. The life side of the update, well, as you can see, I have sisters moving in, and I have some deadlines that are way past due. I'm kind of working on a deadline place right now, and I hate being on that because it's so stressful, and I never know what life is going to throw at me, so I try really hard not to work on a deadline thing. I know some of you that watching this can understand that, and it's just really hard. One of the things that was really cool is that my sisters kind of brought a lot of our childhood books that I really enjoyed. up here with me, so I have stacks of books everywhere that I'm trying to kind of work through, weed through, and just a lot of nostalgia there, which is really fun. The garden is kind of slowing down. It's kind of fluctuating right now in temperature. So we had some frost earlier last week. Now we have some warmer temperatures. The zucchini is going great. That side of the gardening is just, we're on maintenance mode because I just really haven't been able to have time to do anything. What else? What else? Oh, we've been really kind of hitting hard with minimalizing the house. So I just kind of go through everything and think about, okay, I really don't need this, I really don't need this, and I really don't need that. So let's kind of take this out of the equation, if you will. So a lot of decluttering happening, kind of assessing to what needs to, make sure that's not my work. Just kind of making sure that there's nothing that needs, make sure that there are no needs for this winter. So that's been kind of fun, kind of going through and decluttering and minimalizing and all of that, and not to mention like all of the preserving. So all of the preserving that we have done throughout the last few months that I have tried to share with you and taking you along and do all that with, like, we have been using that on a day-to-day basis. Insofar as trying to film what we eat, it's just been really crazy chaotic, and trying to film with all of the background noise is really hard. Now I know I can do voiceovers, but to be honest, I just get frustrated at the time. Again, dinner time, meal times are just busy, chaotic, especially when we have extra company and things like that. So all of this is just kind of a rambling update on our life. It's nothing really cool and fascinating other than the God stories I shared with, but God is what we call them, or but God stories. Like, all this happened but God, and gotta love those moments. I just wanted to really take a moment and say thank you so much to all of those that continue to love and continue to support. Those that are part of the Facebook group, thank you guys. I really appreciate the love and encouragement you have sent privately and openly. It's meant a lot, and for those that are trying to understand, like, Facebook group, I made a community Facebook group. It was kind of my way of doing Patreon and the YouTube membership, but it's a Facebook group that you just donate to when you can, if you can. I just try to put content that will be useful to you there, that is worthwhile. Alright, so this has been about 20 minutes, and I have much to do. I know I need to edit this, but I am looking at a very full plate today, and it's my daughter's birthday. And one of the things that she is so much like her dad in is that her love language is a clean home. So that's kind of what I'm going to get started in and just kind of spend the day. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will get back and on a regular schedule as soon as I can. I just ask for a little bit of grace and patience, and again, thank you. I never expected to get this far in YouTube, never, and I appreciate it so much. So until next time, have a great day, and goodbye.